And
We are recording.
amazing, amazing. So at this moment, we are live, and I will start with short introduction. My name is Thomas, and in Leadspicker, I'm responsible for product. A lot of people, what is there, I already know really well. So hello to everyone, and thank you for joining us. And the purpose of this webinar is to show you the latest product release, basically what we released in past month, and is worth it to mention. And at this moment, I share the screen with all the functionalities slash the all the functionalities that we basically the release during the last month, and not all the features are yet into the production, but I will basically mention the details per every feature that I will go through. And also I just need to mention before we jump in that some of the features can be used by everyone. But for example, we released the HTTPS magic column. There is some technical skill set required. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if basically the 3 minutes from this webinar will be something about the API and etc. Do not worry. The rest of the features are the not technical skills required, and we basically jump in. And the first functionality that is not released for every user yet during this webinar, but after this webinar, we plan to release that to almost everyone, is the functionality called the unified inbox. Some of the users and some of the people that are here already helping us with testing this feature, with feedbacking this feature. And for us, it is really huge feature. And at this moment, I will show you what unified inbox is. The unified inbox is the new generation of the master inbox. As you remember, I just duplicate the screen. As you remember, at this moment, you have the access to the normal inbox that looks like here. This inbox is for most of the users boring. They on one thing that are able to do is only to check the responses, and that's basically pretty much everything. And we just heard the feedback of them. Okay, we just received the answer, but we would like to basically continue with a communication directly from a Leadspicker. So we just decide to build the functionality called the unified inbox. And the unified inbox will be available during this evening for everyone in a platform. And the unified inbox is basically the master inbox on these terrains. And what is there new? Basically, in unified inbox, you can see the replies that you receive, but you can also continue with the interaction. In unified inbox, you can basically continue with a communication in an email thread or in a LinkedIn chat. So everything what you write here, the person that already reply will receive in a same thread. You can also CC your colleagues or CC your main emails. It depends basically what is your outreach strategy, but it's simplifying a lot of things that till this moment was need to be proceed manually. The same thing as the email responses is also working the email LinkedIn responses. So when somebody reply to your outreach through the LinkedIn, you can basically also continue with a communication directly in a LinkedIn thread. At this moment, I just show you the demo, and it's always the live demos. So I hope that everything will work. And I will show that basically with my colleague. And it should be amazing. I forgot what was the name of a testing project. So that's that's the live demos. So I will try to find him here. And in meanwhile, I will basically open the LinkedIn. Amazing. So I will try to find the testing project where I tested out. Here we are. Here we are. I was scared. I was scared basically that I will be unable to find it because I don't want to write some direct people that already start interacting with us on the outreach. For the demo purposes, I will utilize basically my colleague Václav. That some. Also, Václav is very well known. He handling the group onboarding so every 3 times per week. So you already know him really well. But what I would like to show you here, you can see some conversation with Václav, basically in a Leadspicker. I will show the conversation directly here on a LinkedIn. As you can see, hey Václav, this is basically the conversation that I tested out before this live demo, if everything's work properly. And at this moment, when I will write something, yes, I am testing uh, lead, lead speaker and click to the send. In few seconds, I will see my message directly executed also here, basically on the LinkedIn. And as you can see, I basically executed directly from a Leadspicker platform. And I just replying directly to the LinkedIn. And the same thing is also for the emails. And what is nice, you can basically manage replies for all your colleagues from one place or from all your clients from one place. And it's simplifying a lot of work for the organizations in terms of the outbound, but also it's saving a lot of time basically for the agencies. That's the unified inbox. And I would like to say thank you to everyone basically that helped us with the testing. And during this evening, after this webinar, we just start rolling this feature to everyone. And you will find out this feature. You will find out this feature on the left corner here in a unified inbox. My very last thing that is also nice, as you can see here, the 5 new messages, we also showing you how many messages are unread, and it's basically pretty nice. And we have the question. So I just go to the question and I will try to respond. Amazing. This is cool. What platform risk are included and how many actions do you suggest using per day with a message on LinkedIn with this feature? Uh, at this moment, basically, this is already the LinkedIn messages, and we basically counting the same limits are for other actions. So when you are on some threshold that we basically already seeing as a risky, you will receive the warning. But basically, when you already have the accepted the connection and you're replying basically on the messages, it's okay to send 50 up to 100 messages per day, and it should be fine. And again, for most of the most of the cases, we trying to do not overwhelm your LinkedIn accounts. So as many actions as possible we are doing by our own infrastructure. And also basically when you are not directly inside the unified inbox, we also do not check for the responses every few seconds, but we are checking that every 5 minutes. So that's again the de-risk to get blocked. We basically tested out on the 70 agency users, and we didn't hear any issue in terms of the warning or some suspensions of the accounts because of this feature. So I hope that I respond the questions. You can basically send the emoji like here. So I hope that I covered your question. And at this moment, I just go to the continue for the another another thing. And another thing that I would like to show you is one of the things that most likely the power users was missing a lot, and is a small feature, but it is really a good feature when you are using the Leadspicker basically whole days. And this feature is really small. You will find out here between the filters. But when you open the filters, you will see that the filters are totally brand new. At this moment, you don't need to filter headers as before. It was really tough, and it was really limited. So we decide to add the normal filter builder as for other databases. And at this moment, you can basically combine the multiple things what you would like to filter out. So as a first, I can set it up that the full name needs to be everywhere. After that, I can continue that basically job title position basically contains, for example, the partner. And after that, I can continue with other filters, and you can basically set it up as many filters as you want. So you can continue with all your conditions and etc. And here is one small teaser for basically upcoming 3 weeks, because after we release these filters, we just start hearing the feedback. Please, can we save somehow these filters and to use the similar subset filters for the another projects? And the answer is not right now, but in next 3 weeks, hopefully this feature will be available, also with ability to saving the magic columns directly to the Leadspicker to recycle that everywhere inside your organization. At this moment, I just move on to the another one. I hope that everything from this one is clear. Also, because for the contacts are usually the connect also the sequence. So when you would like to filter out the sequence events, you still have a ability. You just need to move to the sequencer filters, and you just see how many people was contacted, how many people replied, and make the filters based on top of that. So that's the last note. And at this moment, I just moving forward to another feature. But before I move forward, I just reply to the another question. Thank you. Thank you for basically here I've been using this filter is very good. I would make suggestion for this UI that isn't the case sensitive when you are using your AI columns and you are using yes no filter, and some filters are yes or no. For example, they don't work properly. You do okay. Thank you for that. Thank you basically to basically mentioning there, and I think this is something that we can fix basically till end of today. This is a really small thing, and to be honest, I didn't notice that, and thank you for that. And I just making the screenshot and going to proceed after this webinar. Let's move forward. And at this moment, we stay in a projects, but we move to the magic columns. At this moment, I will talk a little bit about the APIs, JSON, and etc. But do not worry. After that, I will stop talking about the JSON and API and will talk normally. But a lot of people asking to integrate some custom API, because at this moment we are supporting a lot of possibilities. You can basically enrich the information from websites, LinkedIn. You can try to search something through the Leadspicker magic columns and etc. But for example, we still do not support the phone numbers, or someone using the Perplexity in their research, and they would like to use the input from the Perplexity, basically input from the Perplexity here in a Leadspicker, but we are not supporting there, and it's pretty tough basically to implement all the new data sources, but we're working on that. But till this moment, there was really tough workarounds usually in NADN to using our API, and it was taking basically the long time to connect the Leadspicker with something else. The long time, for example, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to basically update the rows properly and etc. And because of that, we decide to release the new magic column that is called HTTP request magic column. And what does magic column do? This magic column is able to execute any API call, and you are able to utilize the variables that are already basically in a contacts table. So when you would like to basically find the phone number based on the LinkedIn profile of a person, you can utilize at this moment the full enrich or Visa or something just like that for the phone numbers. When you are looking for some additional information like the tech stack, you can connect basically the build with and ask basically build with the variable of the website basically from the Leadspicker, and you still receive all the information in same table. And at this moment, I will show you how this work. And for the demo purposes, basically, I just decide to choose our API because our API, I generate the key is not anywhere else in a production, and after that I can delete it, but it will work for any API. And so I go to the API documentation. When you plan to integrate something, you just need to find a tool that you plan to integrate the API documentation. That's basically everything. We have that between the integrations, and here between the API keys, here is a documentation. At this moment, I just duplicate this step, and I will generate basically the API key directly for this demo purposes. So I will generate the API key. I will show the API key, copy, and at this moment, I just go to the Swagger, where is basically our API documented. And as a first, before I start testing out something, I just go to the API key session. And here I just paste my API key. Why I'm doing that? Because normally in those platforms are the API calls basically validate by your session cookie. But the session cookie is basically in a few minutes invalid, and you cannot basically copy the session cookie somewhere else in a workflow to utilize that on a daily basis or something just like that. But the API key is the same until the time when you revoke it is still valid. So at this moment, we just authorize the API key, and I just go to the API endpoint, basically that where I can simulate all the stuffs, and that's basically this one. And what basically this API endpoint do? This API endpoint basically fetching the information from the from the LinkedIn. So as an input is requiring string, and the string is, for example, my profile URL. So again, I will load my profile URL. And at this moment, I just click it to the try. And I have there the issue because it's invalid JSON. So I just try it again, and I just receive basically the response right now. In case when you are playing around with API for the first time, I highly recommend basically to utilize the platform like the Claude and etc. to guide you, or basically, if you plan to utilize the Leadspicker API somewhere else, feel free to reach out to us on the intercom. A lot of things are covered, and the rest of the things is covered by me, Anička, or the Václav, or someone else from a team. But why we authorize the API key as a first? Because at this moment in a kernel, we already have the validation, basically the verification slash the authorization process with the API key. And at this moment, I can copy that and go to the contacts. Here, we just open the Carl. Carl is not guy, is basically the protocol for the importing the API calls. That is basically saving a lot of time. And I just imported the API call of what we did, and I just received the field all the information. And here is basically still my LinkedIn. So when I click to the preview, I receive the data about Thomas Blatak, but those data are useless. Why? I don't need to data from Thomas Blatak. I just need to data for each of those people here, basically in a Leadspicker. Yes. So I just go to the variable field, and I just basically change it only the variable, and I will paste it here, the LinkedIn as a variable, and I just execute it again. And I just start receiving the details for people that I have basically in a project. And when I decide, okay, what I need to know about Peter and etc. So, for example, I just need to know, as I mentioned, this is only for the demo purposes. By the end of the day, here in a response, it can be the phone numbers, it can be the technologies, and etc. And when you need to create, when you need to create some new variable from those API responses, it's really easy. Here, you just put a name of a variable. So I just put it here like image, for example. And at this moment, I know that I would like to save this URL for image. And at this moment, I can continue with another detail. And for example, the location is interesting. And I can click here to the location. And at this moment, when I have this done, I can click to the create column. And basically in a Leadspicker, it start performing the API calls for every of those rows, and it slowly start enriching. In terms of the batching and the throttling, we are handling that basically on our side. So it should be, it should fit most of the APIs. In case when you are start hitting basically some limits, just let us know on the intercom, and we guide you how to solve it. So basically, that's the HTTPS request. And at this moment, I am stopping the technical, and I will move forward to the another features that can be helpful. And another feature, what we also heard often, usually from the agencies that managing basically the clients, basically inside the Leadspicker, and also for the larger organization that using the Leadspicker in 40 people and etc. Is the issues with the signatures sharing and etc. So we address this issue in last weeks, and at this moment, when you go to the outreach accounts, you have there in signature templates, you just see your signatures. And in signatures, there are two new options. And the first option, when you open the signature, there are one option. And the first option is update the signature for connected accounts. What does it mean? When you have turned on this toggle, that is basically turned on by default, you just change the signature here, and all emails that has assigned this signature will automatically update their signature to basically newer version of this one. So till this moment, you just need to go back to the outreach accounts and reassign the signatures. At this moment, you create two or three templates, and you add it here once, and for all email outreach accounts is automatically applied. And the second thing is usually for the organization members, and is the sharing the signature across your organization. The issue was when you created the signature right now, it stay only for you in an organization. Basically, Anna till this moment didn't see my signature. Vlasta didn't see my signature till this moment. But for example, they just wanted to use the same template because we are in the same company and they don't want to spend the time to creating the new template of a signature and etc. So there is an ability to share basically your signature across your all organization. So that means all your colleagues that you have inside the organization will receive ability to use your signature template and assign your signature to their email accounts. And the last thing is also related to usually the organizations and the agencies, and that's the project ownership. We just heard this feedback few times during past weeks, and at this moment, some of the organizations basically solving, okay, I just created the project, but I'm leaving the organization, and I just need to delete my Leadspicker account, but I don't want to delete the projects because my colleagues are taking over that. Or we just or we just manage basically this project under this account, but we just need to move the ownership and the rights for the another user. And till this moment, we just doing that on the backend. So when somebody basically requests this, we just the person need to wait over the 5 hours till someone on our side basically take this ticket and reset it up basically on the backend part. But at this moment, when you decide to change the ownership and the rights for the project, when you open the project settings is when you click to the kebab menu, so on the three dots, and you open basically to settings. You see the ability to transfer basically the ownership, and here you see basically your team members. And when you choose one of them and click to the transfer the ownership, Dalibor will receive basically this project into his user account and will have all the admin rights. And also there is a toggle. The first thing is that I will still have access to this project, and the second is that I will lose access basically to this project. So only Dalibor and the administration of the organization will have access to that. And yeah, that's basically all basically from our side. uh, what we will what we will release in upcoming 14 days is the thing basically that I basically teasing week ago. But after that, I just decide that we need to polish the user interface. But basically, what we will releasing really soon is the ability to start purchasing the infrastructure directly inside the Leadspicker. At this moment, do not be scared. It's basically the version that work basically on the back end, but the front end we just need to little bit polish. But the long-term issue is the inboxes basically for the campaigns, and we basically decide to solve that by the partnership with the company called the Zapmail AI. And basically in next 2 weeks you will have the ability to purchasing basically domains and emails directly from them, and automatically connected to the Leadspicker without paying any additional subscription, or without paying or basically without changing the any interface. So that's the teaser basically for upcoming week or two. We just need to polish that and simplify that for the users. And the very last thing that we will release also in a week or two, and where we need also the help, uh, is the course for the Leadspicker, because Leadspicker basically in past months it start becoming a really huge tool with all the possibilities, and it's basically pretty tough to cover all the use cases with all the users. So we just decide to record 3 hours course where we are going through all the features that in Leadspicker are available, going through the different use cases that we have, and showing all the possibilities what Leadspicker has and what is the use cases where you can Leadspicker apply. Because a lot of people using that only for the outbound, but only few organizations using that for the data enrichment and signals tracking across their CRM, or few people's only using that about the inbound, and they don't know how to utilize basically the Leadspicker, and other users does not know how to utilize the Leadspicker also for the inbound. So when somebody fill the form on my website to automatically data enrich, classify, save them somewhere into the CRM and send the sequence and etc. And because of that, we basically decide to start recording the course where we trying to cover all the use cases, show a lot of use cases that are already running basically in customers' accounts, to basically give you some possibilities to utilize the Leadspicker better. But we are still on the beginning, and we will happy for any feedback, and we will slowly the rolling the new enrollments here. So here is a QR code, you can basically scan that for the wait list, and basically since next week we start rolling the first people in a course to basically go through it, basically mention some feedback on that. The course is basically finished by the certification that you can share basically on the LinkedIn or somewhere else, or on the Upwork. It depends basically how you are working and what you are using as a main social network. So we will happy for any feedback, and Anna will again attach the ability to sign in for the official Leadspicker certification program into the newsletter that will go after this webinar as a follow-up. And that's basically all from my side. I hope that you release some of the features that you will utilize almost every day. And I hope that all the features will be the useful, not right now, but maybe in few weeks or few months. And happy to hear any feedback. And in case that you are missing, that you are basically missing something, do not worry. Basically, try to ping us. We still open for the feedback. We are not able to develop everything, but basically, when we hear the same requests often, we usually ship that really fast. Time to time, it's take the longer time, but we still trying to try as is possible to basically ship the new useful functionalities. And very last thing, you can see that also the table design is a little bit changed, but it's still not a final. We still will improving that slightly, because at this moment, basically, we just need to handle the first two columns where we are not happy. So it's not a final, and we still changing. But what is new, because we heard some feedback from some users that using really small screens, that the table is too big. And at this moment, where I'm really proud, we basically change it on the backend side. And at this moment, basically the table is automatically resizing based on your screen, so the content should be visible always. So it is really small thing, but I am proud that we were able to manage that and ship that. So it should be visible for almost every screen. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tomas, for feedback. Okay, so at this moment, if there are no other questions, we will basically slow. Yes, amazing. The questions, but I do not see any new. I just see the notification that question came.
I saw a question, but it disappeared. So, not sure.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. Can you share more possibilities that hard that the PS can do and the best use cases right now, in your opinion?
basically, where we start, that's basically the tricky questions because the API keys are still really visible. So I just have in my to-do list to record basically the most common use cases and publish that on YouTube. But basically, from for our internal use case, we are basically using that for the phone numbers enrichment over the basically the full enrich. And that's basically the our first go-to use case where we basically launch it basically since day number one. And after that, basically there is unlimited possibilities. And it depends also it depends basically also for your client's niche. For example, the yesterday I was solving the request that someone need to work with the code basically from the website, so we are not able to proceed that. It's really niche use case to basically develop the magic column that will extract somewhere the whole HTML code basically in a column in a Leadspicker and etc. I don't know how many users will use the similar functionalities, but the guys at this moment can easily to connect the API that already is able to fetch the whole HTML of the website and put it the results basically in columns, and after that they are able to manage that there. And there is really depends basically on really depends on a use case. And I basically plan to record the video really soon. I just promised that to record on a Tuesday, so unfortunately still on my to-do list, but I hope that I will basically publish this video basically tomorrow, or basically in worst case basically on Monday, where I will go through also the phone number enrichment and etc. But I will able to set it up the blur screen for the API keys and for all those sensitive data. And the reason why we still do not have the video yet on our YouTube channel is because we have the new manuals on the intercom. And at this moment, when you start asking some basic questions, you basically start seeing also the pictures. Picture guidelines where you should click and etc. And I'm really happy from that because it's increased the number, basically the percentage of what is capable to solve the fan by himself. And basically we still continue to redoing the manuals, but at this moment when you start asking the fan, fan has basically the access to everything. But before we just had only the text description and the video, And at this moment, basically, when you are stuck somewhere and you basically ask some questions, you usually receive also the nice screenshot where you should click. So the navigation should be right now the faster, better, and yeah. So you can test it out. So you can also test it out. What is at this moment described is already described all the possibilities how to create basically the lists from the LinkedIn and with the robots, basically by all details, which link copy where, which basically limits to set it up how and etc. So feel free to start asking the Fin about that, and it's will be the resolve automatically. If there are no other questions, we slowly close it up, and the video will be on our YouTube, and I will also repost it basically on the LinkedIn. And maybe Anjka can add that into some newsletter.
We will be sending the recording as well.
Amazing. Okay, so guys, really appreciate your time that you spent with us here, basically on the feature release. Also, if somebody watching from the recording, thank you for watching, and we basically plan the next session like this in next 4 weeks, where I hope I will show already the new feature that should basically change a lot of things how Leadspicker work at this moment, and also basically give much more possibilities than right now. But for now, that's it. That's everything, and I wish you have a nice rest of the day. For someone, have a nice morning. For someone, have a nice evening. And I don't know where you are located right now. I just seen Thomas basically from Bali here, and yeah. So enjoy the rest of the day and see you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.